Up. That's the building in which we are situated.
There we go, thank you. And I would like to welcome everyone to BCG and to Out for Australia tonight. I confirm that we do indeed have bathrooms and that various people with rainbow lanyards can direct you to where they are if you need. So tonight we really celebrate younger LGBTQI role models, people who are inspiring everyone in the room, people all throughout the country who are sparking social change, reducing stigma in doing so, and are both the leaders of today and we hope the leaders of tomorrow. And for BCG, inclusion and diversity are core parts of what we are, what we do at work, and what we celebrate in the community. And so we're exceptionally pleased to host this event again. We've long been an advocate for LGBTQI workplace inclusion as well as social change. We have a network which we call Pride at BCG, which celebrated its 20th anniversary a few years ago, and this year grew by 40% across Australia and New Zealand, which is our sort of local geography that we think about. And that's all manner of things that we still need to do internally to make the workplace an easier and equal place for anyone to participate and feel included and be able to bring their best selves to work. So some of the things that we've been doing this year include changing our recruiting process to take out roadblocks for some people. We've launched a gender transition policy, which we help, with the help of Pride in Diversity, which we hope helps make BCG a place where everyone can thrive. And we have in place a system of senior allies, diversity champions, Miguel Carrasco, who might be in the room, and Chloe Flutter particularly, but a whole network across the world. In every country, and there are some countries where that's an incredibly challenging role to play, and BCG operates as a network around the world to try and reinforce that. So they're little things. We hope in some ways we can inspire other workplaces. We also know we have a lot to learn from other places that are doing more than us, and we're keen for input and so on. But in terms of tonight, thank you to everyone who's travelled across the country to be here. It's an incredible bunch of people who are in the room and many people who couldn't be here tonight. So thank you very much and welcome to BCG.
Thank you, and thank you to BCG for generously hosting the event tonight. Next, I would like to introduce Emily Scott from Out for Australia, brackets, no bio needed. That's what we put in the notes. Oh, okay. So no, I'm like Ron Burgundy, I just read what's written down.
Thank you, Jordan. And thank you when Jordan got here and I went to brief her and she goes, honey, do you sit down? I think I need to brief you. You look nervous. Thank you, Donna Ingram, for your warm welcome to country. Thank you, Ant, and to the team from BCG for really generously hosting this evening. For Jan, Steph, Jeremy, Josh, wherever you are, that also helping put on tonight. And welcome to our esteemed guest, Dr. Karen Phelps, AM, and the US Deputy Consul General, Elizabeth Power. And hello friends, pals, everyone. As Jordan mentioned, my name is Emily Scott. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am the CEO of Out for Australia. Out for Australia exists because research shows that only 28% of young LGBTIQ+ people are out to everyone with whom they work. Our vision is to create an Australia where every young LGBTIQ+ person is confident to be their authentic self in the workplace. We are a completely volunteer-run national organisation that provides mentoring and support to young queer people as they navigate their way through these sometimes scary early stages of their career. I've been a young queer person in many types of workplaces, from cafes to insurance broker firms to big Sydney commercial law firms to currently an aged care company in regional Tasmania. No matter the workplace, I've pondered the same questions before my first day. Is it safe to come out here? Who should I come out to and how should I do it? Do these shoes give away my lesbianism? At Out for Australia, we believe in the power of role models and mentors in empowering young queer people to tackle these situations with confidence. We are now 5 years old and have had 2,000 people participate in our professional mentoring program and highlighted role models at over 150 events. We couldn't do this without the committed support of our partners, Baker McKenzie, Boston Consulting Group, IAG, PwC, Clayton Utz, TAL, American Airlines, JP Morgan, Accenture, CBRE, Deloitte, Ashurst, Mental Loop and Fancy Films. I first joined Out for Australia as a mentee, hoping to find support from someone who had gone through this before. Years later, it was my mentor Michelle who gave me the confidence to put my hat in the ring for the CEO role when I thought I wasn't good enough.
You were.
I now surround myself with a team of mentors and role models. These include our fantastic previous CEOs, Matt and Luke, and other board members, Prue, Charles and Frank. But being a role model or a mentor doesn't equal seniority. Greta Thunberg has shown us that some of our most powerful role models are our peers or our next generation. Tonight, we want to recognise and celebrate our community's next generation. These 30 superheroes are artists, marriage celebrants, podcast hosts, founders, lawyers, academics and writers. They come from big towns to isolated cities. The work they do is sometimes part of their job, but often it's the hours of extra work and volunteering. It can be lonely, difficult and thankless, but each day they continue to fight to make places and communities more inclusive, fight for those that may not be able to fight themselves, and above all, fight to live their own proud and visible life. These awards are our way of saying we see you, we see the work you are doing, we hear what you are saying, and we thank you. You are each worthy of this award. I'd now like to ask all OFA volunteers, past and present, to stand up. I know people who are standing, do you just crouch? Maybe put your hand up. Put your hand up if you think you're Out for Australia. Volunteers from across Australia do an incredible amount of work keeping this organisation running and driving outcomes for our community. All these volunteers were precluded from entering these awards tonight, but each and every one of them is a role model. I encourage you to reach out to any of them during the event with these things. Oh, where's mine? And ask them about our mentoring program. Ask them how the Mental Loop platform works, and they can take your details on the spot. Now, tonight is a lot about the next generation, but to the LGBTIQ plus people who have come before us, and those that are many in the room tonight, those who fought for the life we enjoy today that years ago was truly unimaginable, I don't know if words can ever thank you enough. Instead, we, the OFA volunteers, the 30 under 30 winners, and the thousands of LGBTIQ plus people who stand up each day, hope that our efforts, our actions, show our thanks, and say, don't worry, we're not going to mess this up. We've got this. We're going to take this baton through the next lap and we're never going to drop it. Thank you.
Thank you, they're fabulous shoes. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Karen Phelps to provide the keynote speech. Dr. Phelps was the first woman and independent to be elected to the seat of Wentworth in the House of Representatives. She was elected to the City of Sydney Council in 2016 and was Deputy Lord Mayor from 2016 to 2017. She's also a mother of three, doctor, businesswoman, health communicator, public health and civil rights advocate, author and media commentator. A practicing doctor for 20 years, Dr. Phelps was the first female president of the Australian Medical Association and initiated the organisation's first health policies on sexuality and gender diversity. Dr. Phelps has been at the forefront of the struggle for LGBTQI inclusion and equality in Australia for 2 decades. She has met with prime ministers, politicians, religious and business leaders, police and armed forces to advance the cause of equality, diversity and inclusion. She was also a key figure in the campaign which achieved marriage equality in 2017. Dr. Phelps was awarded the Centenary Medal in 2001 and an Order of Australia for her contributions to medicine in 2011. Please welcome Karen Phelps.
Thank you, Jordan, and thank you very much for the invitation to come and speak to you tonight and to recognise the wonderful contribution of our 30 under 30. I'd like to thank Donna for your wonderful welcome to country and express my acknowledgement of the elders of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community and the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation on whose land we meet tonight, and also the elders of our own community. I'd like to acknowledge Elizabeth Powell for being here from the American Embassy, and also my fellow City of Sydney Councillor, Christine Forster, who's fought shoulder to shoulder with all of us for marriage equality for so many years. So here we are to celebrate the role models of 30 people under 30. And there was a time not so long ago when we wouldn't have been able to have a function like this, because you wouldn't have been able to find 30 out people in a workplace under 30 in Australia, not without a great deal of difficulty. And there's no question that more and more people are identifying as LGBTQI and have become much more visible over the last 20 years and even the last 10 years. Who would have thought that I would ever have stood a chance of being elected a federal member of parliament after 2 decades as an outsider fighting for the marriage equality law to be changed, amongst other things such as the same-sex adoption law in New South Wales, and trying to convince our parliamentarians to just get on with it. Well, we all know that my parliamentary career in Canberra didn't last long, just 8 months, but that's not the point. The point was that as a woman, as a marriage equality activist, and as an independent, I had the absolute chutzpah to take on the establishment in one of the Liberal Party's safest seats in the country, particularly given the recent history around marriage equality and other issues. Talk about a hostile workplace. The symbolism is obvious, and I think it's important that we learn from our history. And there will be people who are in this room who remember when homosexuality was illegal in New South Wales. It is not so very long ago. And the fight by the 78ers and others around that time, at great personal expense and with great personal courage, to change that law and to make it possible for others to feel safer to be who they are in every environment in which they live. And I'm going to take you back to a time a little after the 78ers, about 22 years ago, when Jackie and I were first outed. And it seems like a very quaint and old-fashioned word now, outed. It doesn't happen very often, and I don't know another case in Australia where a couple had been outed before us, or indeed since. But before that, I remember not feeling comfortable about having even a photo of my partner in my office at work. I justified it by saying that work was work, and my personal life was my personal life, and that was my business. I was technically an employer in a service industry. I expected the worst when we were outed on page 3 of the Sunday Telegraph. I expected that patients might refuse to see me as a doctor, that I might have to close my business and find another way of earning a living. Certainly wasn't going to be as a federal parliamentarian. I was working on Plan B, Plan C and Plan D. Now, my fear could not have been farther from the truth. To be honest, there was hardly a hiccup as far as that was concerned. But for anyone who's done this, who has faced the decision about whether or not to be your whole self at work, it does take courage, even though it shouldn't have to. And it really can be terrifying. Now, Jackie wasn't scared, but maybe she should have been. Things didn't turn out so well for her. She had a clear choice: shut up about equality and the need for role models, and keep teaching, or keep talking and leave. She left. She left a very valued, treasured teaching career. And we reinvented her life, our life, and we got on with it. But in the years after we were outed, we were constantly asked by journalists to refer them to other high-profile same-sex couples to illustrate their stories. We looked around and we asked around, but for a long time, we were it. We even got bored hearing our story. As the marriage equality movement progressed, we did start to see more people from all walks of life talking about our lives, our relationships, our families, our hopes, and our dreams for equality. A controversial idea became a movement, and the movement gained momentum. And then in 2017, we faced the prospect of an unprecedented event, the notorious postal survey. An opportunity to vote no or vote yes. An opportunity for the words vote no to be emblazoned across a bright blue sky. An opportunity for families to discover hidden bigots in their ranks. It's now almost 2 years since that historic day in the Australian Parliament where we saw an overwhelming vote in favour of marriage equality. Those of us who were in the Speakers Gallery will never forget that brief and magnificent moment of unity when the vote passed. Now, just before the vote passed, I'll tell you a little secret story. There were a number of us in the gallery debating what song we were going to sing because we thought we can't let the New Zealanders outdo us here. And so there was one group who thought that the best thing to do would be the Australian national anthem. We thought, no, that's not quite right. And then there was the choir. They said, we've rehearsed Love is in the Air. We went, it's good, but that was for the vote down in the park, and it was really amazing for that particular moment, but not quite right. And then the idea came up for I am, you are, we are Australian. I still choke up when I think about that moment, when the rainbow flags came out on the floor of Parliament House, when the overwhelming vote was on the yes side of the Parliament, and when we all stood up, and within a few seconds, everyone knew what song we were going to sing, and it was a song of unity, and it was a song of being Australian. Every single one of us, regardless of your sexuality or gender identity, for that brief moment in time, we were one, and we were all Australian. Now, recently a friend commented to me that very few people of our generation had emerged undamaged from the process of coming out. We talked also about the impact of marriage equality and the postal survey in 2017, when our lives and our relationships were scrutinised, criticised and judged for whether we deserve the most basic of human rights, equality, recognition of our relationships as equal. Family relationships and friendships were tested during that campaign. Now, the LGBTQI community has been tested over and over and over through history, and it has an impact on our health. Collectively, we have much higher rates of depression and anxiety. Suicide attempts are 14 times higher, and yet we persist. As individuals, we suffer, yet as a community, we have demonstrated a remarkable resilience. We don't always support each other as much as we should, but this vibrant and beautiful community and our allies in our personal lives, in politics and in business have been the lifelines for so many of us throughout our history. It's helped us to survive prejudice, rejection, family rifts, marginalisation, abuse, physical and verbal attacks, fear, grief and depression in our very individual journeys to self-acceptance and wider acceptance. Being able to identify role models, people where we can identify even parts of their journey, even parts of their struggle, or not, because not everyone has to struggle. It depends on the support around you, but being able to look at those role models is an essential part of combating all of these challenges. Now, Jackie couldn't be here tonight, but she wanted to tell you about the story of her friend Michael. Michael and Jackie started teaching around the same time, about 40 years ago. And for many years, they provided each other with a cover, accompanying each other to events. Michael tragically died just a few months ago, and in the meantime, he'd become a much beloved school principal. Around 1,000 people attended the memorial service at his school. Children, parents, the local state member of parliament, former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull, officials from the Department of Education. In the front row of the VIP section were his partner of 30 years and their 3 beautiful children and extended family. The fact that Michael was so beloved and respected along with his family shows just how far that we have come. The pain inflicted by the Marriage Equality Postal Survey was in many ways mitigated by the huge wave of new allies and supporters stepping up to support our community. Unprecedented numbers of conversations with friends, family members and work colleagues. Conversations to explain why equality was so important to us. There were some people who had a shock revelation that a family member or a friend was going to vote no. Didn't matter why, they were going to vote no. And those relationships could never be the same again. But for many of us, there was a surprise discovery about how much support there was around us. The support from literally everywhere. For people like me, whose parents rejected them or their relationship or both, we saw parents and grandparents stepping up for their kids. You could fantasize that those parents were yours, not just accepting you, but really fighting for you and your rights. For anyone who was hiding their identity at work with the fear that exposing your personal life would mean you had limited career prospects or worse, loss of your job, when over 800 corporate leaders, like the sponsors of tonight's event, came on board as supporters in the Marriage Equality Campaign, it sent a very clear message that yes, you can bring your whole self to work and that business would also benefit. And along the way, we discovered, who would have thought, that eliminating discrimination based on sexuality and gender identity actually enhances job security, work performance, an individual's health, and the bottom line for the companies. The more welcoming and LGBTQI inclusive a workplace is seen to be, the less courage it is needed for you to be yourself at work. You can talk about your private life. You can ask for consideration when your partner is ill. You can avoid the constant pressure of being on guard or caught out on a pronoun about your partner. You can feel more confident to apply for a promotion, and you're more likely to stay in the job, and that also is good for business. And even that last bastion of homophobia, Australian sport, came out for marriage equality. Not every one of them. Some of them going to play for rugby league. I remember attending on behalf of the Australian Marriage Equality at Sydney Football Stadium, a meeting with the leaders of all of the major sporting organisations in Australia. And they pledged to come on board as supporters, almost every single one of them. And this sent a really strong message to the Australian community that not only at home, in your personal life or at work, could you be your whole self, but you could be your whole self as a sports participant or as a fan of the sport that you loved. And this brings me to the politicians who stepped up. In the last 2 decades, more than 80 federal laws discriminating against LGBTQI Australians were changed, culminating in that historic vote in December 2017. There's no denying that politicians from both sides frustrated and infuriated us all over 2 decades of fighting for reform. But in the end, we could not have achieved all that we had without the support of those political allies. These were the conviction politicians, the ones who were prepared to spend their political capital for the cause when they had nothing personal to gain but everything to lose. And just some examples: Anthony Albanese, Sarah Hanson-Young, Tanya Plibersek, Dean Smith, Warren Entsch, from across all parties, stepping up, stepping forward when they had no personal skin in the game, but they believed in equality. We still have a fight on our hands with the religious freedoms now front and centre, particularly leaving LGBTQI students and teachers still vulnerable to discrimination. And of course, we have to get behind the transgender community, because they were thrown under the bus during the Marriage Equality Survey and the Marriage Equality Campaign, and there is now an active campaign against the transgender community, and the religious freedoms debate is going to be difficult, and we have to move together. We have to make sure that we're there to support each other. Every single one of those letters of the alphabet, LGBTQI and plus, we need to work together. We've come such a long way. The corporate sector represented here tonight has been a huge part of that progress, and making workplaces feel safer and more inclusive, demonstrating that they are safer for everyone to be their whole self at work, and for the benefits to business to be real and to be tangible. I'm going to give you a postscript about Jackie and her career, because things move on, time moves on, and we actually chose that very school to send our youngest daughter, who we adopted in 2012, to go to that school because we thought it would suit her best. She ended up becoming the captain of the school, and we were welcomed back very much as parents. And so it goes to show that you can heal, that the community can learn, and that people can move on together for the benefit of everyone in our community. And I would like to congratulate the young role models, the 30 under 30, because you will be taking the baton forward. The elders in the community, those of us who have been around a long time, really are very, very happy that you are there to take the baton. Because it might be one less opinion piece I have to write. And it's just wonderful to see the progress that we have made, and to be able to have an event like this tonight, to have it sponsored by major corporate sponsors, and for so many business leaders and political leaders to be behind an awards ceremony like this. Congratulations to every single one of you. Congratulations to the people who didn't even get nominated, but who are out at work and doing it proud and living your life fully and wholly, and being role models for everybody around you. Thank you all so much for the invitation to be here tonight. Congratulations, and have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. When you mentioned the day of the announcement of the survey and picking the song, I have a similar story. I was booked to sing in Alfred Park on the announcement, and I had to put myself in the place in the week leading up. I had to pick a song to sing if it came up no. And I had to pick both, so it was fine. So the song that I sang was "We Are the Champions" by Queen. Yeah, of course. Yeah. See, a lot of people think, oh, that's a football song. Oh, it's a sports. Then you play at the sport, like, no, that is a very gay song. That is a song about being a queer person in an industry, in a world that doesn't want you to be there, and succeeding in the face of everyone telling you you can't. That is the gayest song in the world. So look, I'm very glad it was a yes, because the song I picked for no was "I'm Horny" by Mousse T. In hindsight, wouldn't have gone down very well. No, it wasn't. I can't even remember what it was. Karen, can I welcome you back to stage to hand the awards to our award winners. We're going to do a little bit of a shuffle here. So if you are an award winner tonight, you know who you are. Would you please make your way to this side of the room so that we can expedite the award outering. I warn you, there is a step, but it's a mischievous step. There is a little drop before the stage, so be mindful of that, particularly if you were wearing a long garment or heels or some kind of stilt. So just be mindful of that little step. Oh yes, and we are also going to do the Game of Thrones. So if you've been sitting and you feel well rested, would you please stand? And if you would like a seat from the if you'd like a seat, take one. There we go. And we'll do this while I'm horny, 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 horny. So horny, 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 horny. I'm going to sing out my 40th birthday party. Yes, so as well.
Still looking very twinny.
Alright, the music has stopped. Everyone back to your seats. Everyone to your seats. Thank you, friends. Are we all comfortable? Are we ready? So we would like to congratulate all our winners tonight. A big round of applause for all of our winners. When are ready? I would also like to ask you to hold any further applause until all the awards have been handed out. Otherwise, we will be here for some time. The judges did have a difficult job picking the winners, and I'd like to acknowledge the judges, Vasuda Punyani, a student and communications manager of OFA, Paige Wilcox, activist and director of state development OFA, Luke Furness, former CEO of OFA and senior lawyer at Clayton Woods. I'm not in the profession. Stephanie White, and Anna Green, Senior Partner and Managing Director of BCG. Okay, it's time to announce our winners. I've got a different piece of paper. Keep your applause to the end. So yeah, you come on up, grab your award, and then just hover over here. Hover, not metaphorically. Don't actually hover. I mean, if you can, I'd be impressed. Yes, oh yeah, and look down the barrel, when you've got your award, look down the barrel of the camera, give a smile, and have your photo taken. If you don't want to have your photo taken, shout. Or honk like a goose. Connor Haas from the ACT, who uses he, him pronouns. Connor is a personal capability officer in the Royal Australian Air Force and was the cadet in charge of the LGBTI community in the Australian Defence Force Army. Which has seen new training packages and education policies in the Australian Defence Force. Congratulations, Connor. Hold your applause. Oscar Caspi-Crutcher, also from the ACT, he, him pronouns. Oscar is a young activist and writer currently studying at ANU. At 16, Oscar founded Students for Marriage Equality Australia and has marched for safe schools as well. Oscar is currently campaigning for legislation to protect LGBTI students. Congratulations, Oscar. You know what? I was wrong. I think we can manage a little clap. Very good progress. I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. Don't cancel me. Andrew Pagonis from New South Wales, he, him pronouns. Andrew is an associate marketing manager at Google. He is passionate about diversity and inclusion and has used the influence of Google to contribute to the LGBTQ+ community. Congratulations, Andrew. Charbel Zada, he, him pronouns. Charbel is an openly gay and proud Middle Eastern deaf student. Charbel is the president of the MQU Queer Collective and president of the Sydney Queer and Disability Group, which aims to empower queer and disabled individuals. Hennis Hingam Wong from New South Wales, he, him pronouns. Hennis is a Doctor of Medicine candidate and Ally Network Advisory Committee member. His work aims to fight for fair access to healthcare and planetary health. He has been an active volunteer with local and national organisations, including Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras. Congratulations. Amber Loomis from New South Wales, they, them pronouns. Amber works in sexual assault and harassment prevention and response and is driven by social change based on intersectional frameworks. They are also the founder and president of the Sydney Bi Plus Network. Congratulations, Amber. Delia Deng from New South Wales, she, her pronouns. Delia is a tech advisor at SAP Ariba and an equality advocate. She has been recognised as a change catalyst and leader conducting sales and diversity training. Change catalyst, like aluminium in certain reactions. Jack Crane from New South Wales, he, him pronouns. Jack works as a diversity and inclusion consultant and works to influence the culture of USyd, that's the University of Sydney, to be more actively inclusive of all staff. Congratulations, Jack. Sebastian Rodriguez Alarcon from New South Wales, he, him pronouns. Sebastian is an international lawyer and MBA graduate at USyd. In his spare time, he volunteered with the Whitney Museum of American Art and the LGBT Community Centre. Congratulations, Sebastian. You forgot your prize. A disaster. Chloe Bennett from Queensland, she, her pronouns. Chloe is a lawyer at Clayton Utts and has been instrumental in driving LGBTI activity throughout Australia's legal community. She's also one of the founding members of Brisbane Interfirm. Elise Stevenson from Queensland, she, her pronouns. Elise is a social entrepreneur and PhD candidate focused on women's leadership. She has travelled extensively to work with rural and regional communities around Australia. Congratulations, Elise. Madison Harrington from Queensland, she, her pronouns. Madison is a law graduate and has been a passionate transgender activist since coming out in early 2019. She will become the first openly trans person to be admitted as a solicitor to the Queensland Supreme Court. Congratulations. Sean D'Souza from Queensland, they, them pronouns. Sean is a youth worker and LGBTIQ activist. They bring their own experience to their work in order to support the most vulnerable members of the LGBTIQ plus community. Congratulations, Sean. Connor Cusack from Queensland, he, him pronouns. Connor is a final year medical student and advocate. He is a medical assistant at one of Brisbane's leading LGBTIQ plus health clinics and occasionally is a marriage celebrant. Just occasionally. Ashley Jensen from Queensland, she, her pronouns. Ashley is a communication specialist at UE Insurance. She has made significant changes to workplace culture through her involvement with UE's Diversity and Inclusion Forum. Congratulations, Ashley. Ben Nielsen from South Australia, he, him pronouns. Ben is an ABC News reporter and is the state champion for ABC Pride. He also sits on the Pinnacle Foundation Committee for South Australia and the Victorian Pride Centre Community Board. Congratulations. State champion for ABC Pride. I didn't know it was a competition. Thomas Charles Whenua, South Australia, he, him pronouns. Thomas is a Samoan and Tongan artist, director and leader, also known by his drag persona as Queen Kong, and has had a stellar career in dance. His works are centred around the exploration of gender, identity, spirituality and family. Congratulations, Thomas. Natrid Sigutha from South Australia, they them pronouns. Natrid is a postgraduate student at the University of South Australia. They are also the president of the University of South Australia Rainbow Club, which regularly hosts and supports regular events and activism. Congratulations, Natrid. Sean Henschke from South Australia, they them pronouns. Sean is an activist, entrepreneur and student at Flinders University. They founded the community organisation The Queer Society, which is now one of the largest and leading community organisations in South Australia. Congratulations. Georgia Burke from Tasmania, she, her pronouns. Georgia is a lawyer by day and queer party organiser by night. She is co-coordinator of Limbo, a party for queer Tasmanians. Limbo donates all profits to Working It Out, for which she is also a board member. Congratulations, Georgia. I think for future awards ceremonies, everyone should have their by-night persona. Unless you are Batman, that should be secret. Liam Carswell from Tasmania, he, him pronouns. Liam is a media advisor for a federal member of Parliament and party planner. His work with the queer party group Limbo sees the donation of the donation of all profits to we had that. We know what it does. Working it out. James Lolekato, who's not here tonight, from Victoria, he, him pronouns. James is co-founder and director of Pride Cup Australia, which aims to celebrate diversity, inclusion in community sport. James is also the former CEO and founder of Proud to Play. Liam Elphick from Victoria, he, him pronouns. There we go. You look familiar. Liam is a legal academic and advocate with teaching experience and expertise in discrimination law and LGBTIQ rights. He has been involved in LGBTIQ advocacy for many years at a member, advisory and chair of board level. Congratulations, Liam. Also not here tonight is Mama Alto from Victoria, she, her pronouns. Mama Alto is a jazz singer, cabaret artist, and gender transcendent diva. She works with power in vulnerability, strength in softness, and the radical potential of storytelling. Not confirmed attendance. Could be here, could not, maybe not. Margot Fink, she, her pronouns. Margot is a proud trans woman of colour, community leader and LGBTIQ advocate. Margot was instrumental in developing All of Us, the first nationally approved teaching resource on queer topics for Australian high schools. Nevo Zissin from Victoria, they them pronouns. Nevo is a Jewish, queer, non-binary author, activist and public speaker. Among their works is the award-winning memoir, Finding Nevo. They run workshops on sex, gender, culture and trans issues in schools and workplaces. Congratulations, Nevo. George Fawkes Taylor, they, them pronouns. George is an activist, creative producer, master of human rights. I said master as if it was master of the universe, but it's a degree. Master of human rights student and state government electorate officer. They recently created the only LGBTQIA+ group in their region, Cal Queers. Congratulations, George. Mackenzie Godson from Western Australia, she, her pronouns. Mackenzie is a senior manager at PwC. She also holds other roles at PwC, such as being the head of the employee-led LGBTI network, GLEE. She also works as a board member for Street Law WA, a legal service for the homeless. Congratulations, Mackenzie. Also not here tonight, but Liam will accept, maybe the same Liam. Tegan Harrington from Western Australia, she, her pronouns. Tegan is an associate lawyer, founder, and former chairperson of Interfirm Perth. She's an advocate for practical change with the aim of assisting all individuals of various intersectional backgrounds. And our 30th under 30, Thomas Drake Brockman from Western Australia, they, them pronouns. Thomas is a student doctor in their third year. They have over a dozen publications in peer-reviewed medical journals, including The Lancet. Congratulations, Thomas. And please, another huge round of applause for all of our I'm just getting a drink of water. I should have done it like an ASMR video. Yes. All right, now we are going to announce the 3 category winners. Okay, so the judge chose one person who best exemplifies each category, and the categories are best dressed. No. The categories are tangible contributions to bettering the lives of LGBTIQ+ people in Australia, success in their respective career, and living the third one is living the qualities of a role model: authenticity, courage, and resilience. Okay, and I have envelopes. Okay, so this is the winner of tangible contributions to bettering the lives of LGBTIQ people. You want to be my extent? Imagine if I said La La Land. The winner of tangible contributions to bettering the lives of LGBTIQ+ people in Australia is Liam Elphick.
What I did realise afterwards is that was me that was meant to accept Tegan's award. I'm actually friends with Tegan. No one tell her that's what happened. I had absolutely nothing prepared for this, so I'm just going to go off the cuff. So thanks so much to... Yeah. Thanks so much to Out for Australia for this incredible awards. Like, it's just amazing to see how many people there are in the room and all the phenomenal 30 people we have here in front of us. And thanks to the Boston Consulting Group for hosting this. I think for me, growing up gay, it was hard to find role models around you that you could look up to, particularly in the workplace. And that's even sort of for us who are each under 30. And I think that's changed so much. I was talking to some friends earlier today about how many kids we see coming out in high school now, not just as gay, lesbian, bisexual, but also transgender and gender diverse. And I just think we've come so far, and that is so much down to all of the fantastic work of the 30 under 30 here, and all of the amazing elders and other LGBTI advocates that have come before us, including Karen and everyone else who worked on the Marriage Equality Campaign. So thank you so much, and congratulations to everyone here.
Thank you again, Liam. Could I have my microphone stand back, please? So the next category is success in their respective career, okay? And the winner is Delia Deng.
I was really hoping that I wouldn't win that category. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, and thank you to Out for Australia for facilitating this amazing mentor and mentee community. I remember Out for Sydney when it first came out, and I was still a student at the time looking for my first internship. And that's where I was trying to find a mentor to bounce some ideas off and get comfortable with being out. But there was still that, with my first corporate internship, there was still that feeling of, what do I say about my weekend? What do I say if when people ask? And there's that self-editing, all that energy, thrown into that. And, I wouldn't say it was a successful internship. I still, managed to find my next corporate job and throwing all my energy into that. And now that I'm here at SAP, where my very first day I saw rainbows in the kitchen, my manager's here filming. My partner here laughing at me because she knew I didn't want this. It's just been so amazing, and it's lovely to see pride being celebrated rather than something you have to think about every Monday morning. So thank you to Out for Australia, thank you to all the mentors and all the coaches I've had, and I see many people here in the room. Thank you. And of course, Shirley, thank you for supporting me and helping me articulate everything that goes on in this chaotic mind of mine. And that's all.
And the third category, living the qualities of a role model. And, you want to. Is Oscar Caspi Crutchett.
Wow, oh my gosh, this evening has been crazy inspiring. And I mean, just a few minutes ago, I was just thinking about all the stories, everything I've heard, all the other winners. And it kind of hit me that all of us, in all of our respective fields, we have people working in the corporate sector, we have people working in the arts, we have people working in education. All of us in the last 30 years pushed Australia in a full U-turn as to how it perceived LGBTQIA plus people. And that's absolutely incredible. I'm only 18 and I'm so thankful to everyone here because of all the work that the people in the room have done. I was able to come out in high school. I was able to start Students for Marriage Equality. I was able to be confident and proud of myself. And you can't put a price on that. Thank you so much.
Good job. Could I ask the three category winners please return to stage for a photograph as well? I'm going to be in the photo too. Big round of applause for all our winners tonight. So many diverse stories, so much good work that is being done, and so much interesting work. And yeah, good on all of you. We are going to do some photos with everyone, but we'll do that at the end. So just don't go anywhere. Nobody took forward. Jordan, any personal closing remarks? Nobody's done that. It's not Tinder, you don't need to say anything. Some thank yous before we finish up. I want to thank all the Art for Australia volunteers who dedicated their time to put together tonight. In particular, Vass, Ben and Jack, and most importantly, Callum. Most importantly, Callum. Thank you, Donna, for your welcome to country tonight. Thank you very much. I will also want to thank you to David McGuigan from the Deaf Society and Amanda Galea from Sweeney and Tokyo for their assistance tonight. No free sign, but I thank you and congratulations and bullshit. I'm working on more. Thank you as well to Boston Consulting Group for hosting tonight, in particular to Steph, Jan, Jeremy and James for all the behind the scenes organising. We have a gift if someone from BCG can please accept it. Come on up. Thank you again to Karen. You get a gift too, so congratulations. All right, well, we've reached the end of the formalities. The festivities continue, however. Oh, yes. Can you have the microphone? What is this?
Good evening, everyone. Jordan, on behalf of Out for Australia and the Boston Consulting Group, thank you for your humour, your warmth and your honesty this evening as our Master of Ceremonies. This is for you.
Yes, I am the Masked Singer. Just rattling under this. So the rest of the plan, there's going to be drinks and nibbles here until 8:30. So till 9. Till 9. Oh yeah, keep it on. Get rid of that lockout law. Pop back into the kitchen, get to know one another, have a drink and something to eat, and then there's going to be an after party at the art house across the road. Yeah, there is a small bar tab, so have a modest drink. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all our winners. Congratulations to everyone for being a